Hello and welcome to Shamullahcast After Dark. Nothing special, we're just doing this episode late at night.
After hours.
Not that you would know. Anyway, we know you have a choice to listen to 750,000 other podcasts, and we thank you for listening to ours. My name is Fairburn, I'm joined by Josh and our information man Frank, and tonight's episode is on Total Recall. Boys, I'll let you two take this now, as you both have more memories than me.
Right, I say let's change this up a bit. Frank, let's have your opinion first.
Okay. I won't say I dislike the film, but I won't say I really enjoyed the film.
Why would you say that, though? Why would you say you have these feelings towards it?
Well, I've got fond memories of it, watching it with my father growing up.
I had a similar situation, actually, growing up. I watched it, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've watched this countless times. I don't think I have enough fingers on my hands to count this, honestly. I've watched it so many times, and to be honest, I think it's just a bit of a guilty pleasure as well. Like, it's not perfect by any means, but it's just a good action Arnie movie, and you don't get movies like this anymore. Let's be honest, boys. You really don't.
No, you don't, no.
And you know, that goes to show, because they made a reboot in 2012, and it sucked ass.
Yes.
It was atrocious.
There's no character in it. Well, there are characters, but it doesn't have any heart.
There's no heart, yeah.
Exactly, with this, you can see that time and effort went into every shot.
It did, definitely.
And let's be honest, the budget was pretty fucking high for fucking 1990 as well. Frank, what is it? You've got it there somewhere.
Well, let's see. Let's check my notes. Okay, so for the 1991, it was 65 million budget, and they boxed office at 261 million.
Jeez.
So they made a nice fat profit on that, boys. Which, you know, I imagine mostly that was the fact that Arnie is a huge selling point. Like, you know, I maybe some Sharon Stone, actually.
Let's face it, she is Sharon Stone.
You know, no one exactly went to watch it for Michael Ironside, even though he's good in this as well.
No, he is. You know what? I would say that everyone did a pretty good performance.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'd say he's actually more of a screen. Like, he's a better villain on screen than the character of Cohagen, who is meant to be the big bad.
Yeah, I felt like he was more of a villain. Like, Cohagen just felt like an afterthought to me. I kept forgetting he was in the film.
He just rock up and say some evil things.
Yeah.
And wouldn't do anything, though.
Yeah, no, not really.
And then he's like, I'm going to reveal the plot. But, you know, again, I feel like it feels a bit like a satire on an action movie a little bit.
Almost.
Yeah, like it feels like it knows what it is, and it's not trying to be something it isn't. Like, it's not trying to be an award-winning masterpiece. It's just satire and action movies.
And I like films like that because I feel like that when they're not trying to outdo themselves, they come off a lot better than they actually are.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the writing in this, you know, for a stupid action film in 1990 is pretty good. Like, I was guessing, obviously I'd never seen the original, unfortunately, before this. So, like, I was guessing, obviously you two had seen it, and, you know, I was asking questions, I thought, like, I don't know what's going on here, and with something like the 2012 remake, you think, like, well, you know, I can kind of guess what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? Like, I thought there were some twists and turns along the way. Not spectacularly written, but, you know, enough to be like,
enough to keep you intrigued, and then like, take you a bit off guard in a sense. You're kind of there like, wait a minute, this is an action movie, this is making me think a little bit here.
Yeah.
You know, comparing it to another satirical action movie starring Arnie, The Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
You know, I like that in some ways, but that doesn't do it as well as this, though, in my opinion. The Last Action Hero just feels a bit schlocky.
I feel like that was a bit more to be like, well, we're just a blockbuster.
Yeah,
you know
it's like, this is meant to be funny, and that is it. That's what, like, you know, the writing isn't great in this.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, it's not the best writing in the world, but it does the job pretty damn well.
Yeah.
You know, I liked a lot about this, though. I love the effects in this. I love the future setting. Not so much that it's in the future, but I love the aesthetic in this.
I like that it's dirty and it's a bit grungy, and it's not like, we are the future. There's robots walking everywhere. We're wearing head visors.
It's kind of cyberpunky in some way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a dystopian cyberpunk. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, and I like that, though. It's not too far from what we are now, let's be honest.
No, it's not. Yeah, we said that when we watched it.
It really isn't. So it's not... And, you know, they're on Mars, and people are thinking about that now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, are we going to be mutants on Mars? I really don't know. We're going to have to wait to see what Elon gets up to there. But, you know... what do you guys enjoy about this movie, though?
Frank, I'll let you go first, mate.
Well, let's see. Where do I start? I really enjoyed, the action, obviously. The blood spurting everywhere. You do not get that in movies nowadays.
It was very unapologetically gory, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, just like, there's blood, yeah, fuck it, you know, it's good.
Arnie would just turn around and like impale somebody on a spike, or he'll just like grab a bar and put it through someone's eye.
Yeah, I think movies are too scared to take that plunge anymore. Let's be honest, like these days, it just doesn't happen unless it's a horror movie. Like action movies now, they try to appeal to the broad audience, like Mission Impossible and things like that. I know it's a different movie, but do you know what I mean? It feels too. It wants kids to enjoy it, and a kid could watch this and probably enjoy it. Maybe a little bit traumatized, mind you, but they'd enjoy themselves. And I feel like Paul Verhoeven, the director of this, it's a bit of a staple for him to have like the satire mixed in with the blood and guts and the action.
Yeah.
He did RoboCop, which is, it kind of feels a bit like a spiritual successor to this, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities, definitely, especially with the aesthetics, the action.
It even has the same fucking villain, essentially. Same actor, plays evil corporate villain number 1.
Yeah. One thing I enjoyed actually coming off the top of my head is that it's not winking to the camera. It knows what it is. Yeah, there's a lot to enjoy, there's a lot to laugh at and stuff, but it's not like, did you get that? Did you? Oh, see, this would be something else and another. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just going with it.
Again, but that's why Last Action Hero doesn't work for me, though.
Yeah.
Like every scene is someone looking at the camera. I get that's meant to be like fourth wall breaking, but just because you acknowledge it doesn't make it okay, though.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And in this, it's like, well, if you don't like my joke, fuck you. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, guys. But yeah, like I said, I like the sets. I love the setting. I loved all of it. The action was fantastic. You know what? I also loved Arnie as a leading man.
Yeah, he's a great leading man. You can watching this, you can see why he was in so many films around
the 80s.
He's just
lovable, isn't he?
And he is funny. I don't care. Like his one-liners are funny.
And he's bashing in skulls, being like, I just want to hug him.
Yeah.
I want him to hug me, actually. Yeah, he may bust my back out when he's doing it, but I just want to give me like a bear hug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Arnie in this, and it goes to show like how hard he works as well.
Yeah, definitely.
He has to do all that with the thick of an act, like with an accent as thick as his.
Yeah.
And he still puts across his comical lines, his serious moments.
Yeah, I think he's a likable enough actor. Do you know what I mean? I think jokes aside, the accent and he does like cheesy movies, but like he's not bad.
He's not just a plank, is he?
No, he's not. I don't think people give him enough credit for like. The stuff that he does, do you know what I mean? Yeah,
people just see him as an icon, and let's be real, he's not just an icon. He is an amazing actor as well. Okay, maybe not amazing, but he is a great actor.
And he's also a former governor, so he's got the political chops behind him.
Right. Okay. Maybe we should.
No.
Let's say nice things about him if he's the past governor of California. What else? What I'm trying to think of other things about Arnie. He read a book, his autobiography. He also called that Total Recall, which I think was quite funny, to be honest. That's something quite quirky.
Yeah.
It's a total recall of his life.
Yeah.
That's literally what the tagline is. It's like, this is a total recall of my life. I'm not even joking. That's being dead serious.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Be careful, guys. You might get sued now. He might find us and take us to his lair. Yeah. Well, again, we're not housemates, so. The thing is, right, again, this movie feels like it has character, but the 2012 one, to me, feels very generic. It's just grey, gunmetal.
Yeah.
And they don't even go to Mars!
No, yeah, I thought that was quite baffling, actually, because, like, the whole point is another planet, and it's, like, a whole new thing, and it's essentially a different world, so, like, why? I don't know.
It just feels wasteful.
Yeah, wasteful.
Just feels really, really wasteful. And Colin Farrell, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how he's a Hollywood A-lister. I don't think he's ever been in anything good. No, actually, I'm lying. He was in The Gentleman. I liked him in that.
Yeah, that was. He was great in that. Actually, he was fantastic at that.
So it proves that he's pretty good. It's just he chooses the wrong scripts 99% of the time.
Would you just say he's not a very good actor?
He was Bullseye in Daredevil.
Oh yeah, that was...
Bullseye.
Yeah.
He was in Fantastic Beasts, and then he was Johnny Depp, and then Johnny Depp was
Mads Mikkelsen.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the guy.
Well, yeah, because they all look alike.
Well, to be fair, with the Johnny Depp one, like, he was wearing a fake magical spell that made him look like Colin Farrell.
Right, okay. But and then he chose to be Mads Mikkelsen.
Well, that was a blatant recast.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because of all the shit that went down with Amber Turd.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that one. But, I'll tell you what I disliked about this. Actually, I kind of like both. I like the breakneck pace in the way that, like, it feels like it's a lot of action and you're being pulled into it the entire time. But when it comes to the pacing as well. On the other hand, there's so much going on that if you blink, you miss like 10 scenes.
I had the problem, but not a problem, but like, you know, I'd look at my phone or we'd say something, I'd look away for 2 seconds, and then 8 things had happened. The pace is very like, if you're not keeping up, you're not gonna know what's going on.
Like, we're going now, goodbye.
Yeah, catch up later.
There's like genuinely like a 2-minute scene, I think, where they stop and talk and try to give us a little bit of exposition, and then it's like, no, we're done now.
Yeah, but you know what though? Even though the pace is breakneck speed, it didn't feel rushed.
No, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
like it ended, and I thought like, jeez, that wasn't like 2 hours or an hour and a half.
It's 2 hours.
Yeah,
that's literally like 5 minutes short of 2 hours.
It didn't feel like 2 hours though.
And it was fun, and I like the little alien. Well, there weren't aliens in it, but I like the fact they included aliens in the story.
Yeah.
And shit like that's cool. But where did they go? Why did they leave this technology on Mars but didn't activate it themselves? Where have they gone?
Because Mars is a shit tip. Mars are terrible.
It's the Batal bit of the Total Recall world. What the hell you want, though, right? Why have they gone to Mars and colonised Mars in this movie? Like, I get here we're trying to do it now, but they never explain why they've gone to Mars in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing there for them.
No.
Like, the only thing they're mining is air. To give them all air on Mars. So why are they there in the first place?
Maybe they're just really generous. Maybe
Yeah.
they felt like whoever's going to live on there is going to need some...
Yeah, but who's going to choose? Who's going to choose to live on Mars?
Well, they were using different planets as holiday destinations. Because there was when you're in...
Oh, in Recall.
Yeah, when you're in the Recall, you can go to Mars, you can go to Jupiter, you can go to... what's the other one now? It's Saturn, I think, the last one you can choose.
How in the name
That
of
is a
fuck?
planet.
How in the name of fuck can you go to the gas giant? You just fall in through space for eternity.
Well, it's Total Recall, isn't it? You're not actually going there.
Yeah, but like,
Why are you?
Oh.
yeah, that's another part I like about this movie. It doesn't blatantly tell you what is happening outright, like the plot, in the sense that, you know, Quaid goes to Recall and he's like, I want some memories, implant these memories. I live a boring life, even though I've got a hot wife and I've got a decent job and I'm ripped and I'm huge.
You have the right house as well, you know, or apartment.
I need more.
Yeah.
I need more. I want more excitement in my life. But no, he wants these memories implanted from Recall to, you know, kind of live out this fantasy of going to Mars and fighting the man and being a rebel, and aliens are involved, and he meets a sexy woman even though he already has a sexy woman. And then it cuts away, and then that actually happens, so it kind of leaves you to think, did that actually happen?
Yeah.
Or is it the implant kicking in? We don't actually know. What would you two think? What do you two think, honestly? I'd like to think the implant didn't kick in, personally. I like to think that's what actually happened. That is the plot.
I was going to say, I feel like it did happen. I suppose, after all that, I'd feel like if it didn't happen, it'd be a bit of a cheap out.
Yeah, I suppose it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But then, you know, it kind of like, it does leave a few plot holes, though, when you think about it. Like how is Mars gaining an atmosphere just from air?
Yeah, like, they all came back to life pretty fucking quickly.
there's a blue sky in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What happened there? Do you know what I mean? And there's just so many little things like that. And like, the guy that rocked up to tell Quaid that he's like, okay, your head's a bit fucked, don't worry, we're inside of your head, we're going to talk you through this. You know, he's there and everything, but Quaid's there like, you full of shit, you are. You're not actually here.
Yeah.
And he just shouts, he's like, no, I'm actually here. And he basically tells Quaid the rest of the movie. So, like, how would he know that? How does he know there's alien technology, and how does he know that he's going to be the leader of the rebels, and it's all going to come crumbling down?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Because maybe it's in his head. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe. And his wife only turns on him in that scene, and those guys bust through the wall, because, you know, to Quaid, that's what he believes would happen in that situation.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
To fit his own narrative.
Well, don't worry, Josh, because the 2012 reboot tells you all of the answers.
yeah. Oh, it's just... Oh,
he gets up and he goes home.
And that's it.
To not Sharon Stone.
He goes home to... No, Kate Blanchett is the villain in that, actually. She's the Sharon Stone character.
Oh, right, yeah, so to not Melina.
I don't know who plays the Melina character in the reboot, actually.
He goes home to Katana instead.
Katana wins. Yeah, so, you know, again, maybe we'll cover RoboCop at some point as well, just to get something else in this kind of like... I'd say, like, the classic trilogy of violent movies back in the day. Actually, you know what? They're all the same director. Like I said, Starship Troopers, RoboCop, and this.
Oh yeah.
And I've put these two forth as well for us guys to watch. So if you guys would be willing to watch those, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, happily. The Paul Verhoeven Snot trilogy.
Well, it's a spiritual trilogy, I suppose.
Yeah.
Did he do anything else?
Frank, pull that shit up, man.
I think he might have worked on the reboot of RoboCop, mind.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think he worked on the Starship Trooper sequels as well. The ones that were like straight to DVD and were like super low budget.
Yeah.
And they started doing so badly as well, they started going to animation. But the animation looks better.
Really?
The animation looks better than the fucking disgusting, terrible sequels. Got it there, Frank? Are you looking, my friend?
Let's see, he did a film called Black Book.
Black Book? Why have I heard of Black Book? What is that?
Let's have a look at the synopsis. Rachel joins the Dutch resistance after her farmhouse is destroyed. That's a World War II film.
Oh, okay.
So it's not in the Total Recall canon, guys. No, I apologise.
There's no futuristic violence, it's
Maybe,
just normal past violence.
But maybe there's a woman with 3 boobs.
Yeah.
You never know.
Could have been some weird mutations going
No,
on.
that would be a pretty good movie, 10 points.
Let's see, he did Hollow Man.
Oh, Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon.
That does sound familiar.
It's basically his take on The Invisible Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's actually okay. Me and Tucker's our friend, was talking about this the other day, actually. It's quite good. It starts off quite like, ooh, sciencey, and then Kevin Bacon becomes evil, Invisible Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. He likes being evil, doesn't he?
He
in
starts
his
off
movies?
doing quirky little things, which are still hanging, I suppose, but he's there like, oh, I just look at this girl, but she get undressed, and then he goes, no, I'm evil now.
That was the beginning of it. You thought, I can just start doing other terrible
He's
things.
like, I'm invisible, I don't want to be invisible anymore, I want to be visible Kevin Bacon. Please. But does the Hollow Man have Arnie sucker punching his wife, played by Sharon Stone? That's the question.
Obviously not.
Exactly. That's
Then I don't want to watch it.
Put it away. Take it away from me,
Jesus, God, boys.
He also did Turkish Delight.
Turkish Delight. Was that like his first? Was that his breakout movie?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was like 1973.
Yep, 73.
See, I have I don't need. Thing is with me, I have this little database in my brain with these movies, but like, have I watched them? I don't know.
Nah.
They're in there somewhere.
You're just total recalling them. You've just been implanting them in your mind. Yeah.
Maybe at this point in time, I'm just racking through all the references in my brain, and throwing them around. Like there'll be something in you somewhere. There'll be a cognitive thought in you. At one point.
These will come into use, I'm sure, at some point.
What I'm just trying to think really what I disliked about this movie. There's not much that I really disliked.
No,
I'm gonna be
there's
honest
not.
with you.
I'll be completely honest. There's not a lot. I will say that stood out to me, but like, I think maybe the pacing could put a lot of people off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see like a lot of people getting confused and be like, oh, whatever. But
like I told you both, prepare yourselves in the sense that you're gonna come. You're probably gonna enjoy it, but it's not gonna be something that grips your brain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but. Do you know what I mean? Not all films have to be. Not all movies have to be, especially with something like this. It's a perfect time capsule of the 90s. You've got your elaborate sets. You've got
You've
your
got
weird
what the 90s
costumes.
think the future's going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a weird thing for the 90s and 80s. That was just like nearly everything.
But I think we talked about this earlier, actually, and I think you made this point, Fabian. You were quite happy about the fact that they didn't make it like the close future, like today, for example.
Yeah.
Because so many things in the 80s and the 90s were like, oh, this is what the close future's going to look like Back to the Future did.
Yeah, I was going to say 2015, Back to the Future.
And well, you know what today looks like. It looks exactly the same as the 80s did, let's be honest.
There's just more buildings and less grass.
And less shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And not everything is beige.
No, but mullets are the same.
Yeah.
Mullets are still here.
Yeah. And cars, we have the same cars.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have the same fucking cars.
Yeah, but they're not flying cars like every futuristic film ever.
And they're not DeLoreans.
Hey, have you been to Area 51 yet?
Yes.
When? Yeah, exactly, that's right. Were you one of those guys that ran into...
Septembers ago, yeah.
Were you one of those guys? Were you the only one that turned up, Frog?
Yeah, I was. I was quite disappointed, I'm not going to lie. How could you let me down, America?
Why would you do this to me?
The road trip was not worth it.
So, what do you dislike, Frog, if you dislike anything?
Trying to think now.
Characters, anything. Oh, you didn't like Quarto, did you, actually?
No, I did not like Quantum.
Right, for reference, Frank's being very disablist here. There's a Siamese twin called Quarto, and he is, when I say conjoined twin, I suppose Siamese isn't the correct term anymore. He's a conjoined twin, and he's a little bit deformed, he's a bit psychic, he's a little bit ugly, and Frank hates him just because he's ugly. How could you do that, Frank?
Well, no, I don't like him. He's slimy. I don't like slimy things.
Well, that's mean. He's only slimy because he's deformed, Frank.
Well,
God.
not necessarily.
He's got overactive sweat glands, right?
Well, it could be the fact he's constantly concealed in the guy's shirt.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. He's like keeping him in his shirt, just sweating all over him.
Would you walk around with him coming out of your belly?
Yeah.
Open your mind, Quaid.
He's like, no. He's like, I'll keep it closed.
I'll close my shirt as well. I'm not opening my shirt.
I also found it quite funny that the guy who plays Quarto's fucking conjoined twin is the guy who plays John Connor.
Oh,
the adult John Connor in the first few Terminator movies.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He doesn't even have any lines in those movies either.
No, he's just there.
He just stands there
sleeping.
stoically with a scar. And he's just like, I'm the leader of resistance. Which he also is in this, I suppose.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about the plot twist in this? Like the few plot twists.
I was going to say, there's... which one?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Where do you even start? Because there's like so many layers of the plot twists in this.
Yeah.
So, so Cohagen... he was best mates with Hauser, who was Arnie's character.
Yeah.
They sent him to Earth after being brainwashed, so to speak, or like his mind had been erased, and he becomes Douglas Quaid, and he's living this normal life, and eventually they're going to find a way to send him up to Mars to infiltrate the rebels, who are led by Quarto. But the thing is, if he was Hauser, not Douglas, then he could have easily have read his mind and be like, oh, he's a double agent, let's get him, let's kick his ass, let's stand on his head. Not that they wouldn't be able to do anything to Arnie anyway, his rippling biceps would destroy him all. And I suppose unless you're a housemate, I suppose you're pretty safe. But then shit starts to fuck up, and then Douglas tries to go to recall to try and get some memories implanted, have a great holiday, and that ends up like fucking up his brainwashing, and he's just like, oh, okay. He's like, so this is a thing now. And then he somehow manages to go to Mars, fucking plays out the entire plan pretty damn correctly, even though it wasn't being followed correctly. And it turns out that he was, like I said, he was sent there to destroy the rebels, but he ends up working with them anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
there's a lot going on.
It felt like they kept pulling the rug out from underneath you for the sake of pulling the rug out from underneath you.
But you know what? I do appreciate that it's not just... it tries to take turns in its own merits. You know what I mean? It's not like just a straight thing. It's like, well, there's a few twists and turns. It's not, you're not just watching a straight movie. And, I can appreciate that, I suppose, that it's not just... this is the bad guy and he's going to win or whatever. There's a story behind it.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I kind of would have preferred if we saw Cohagen from Arnie's perspective the entire time, actually.
Yeah.
Because when it takes you out of the story to show Cohagen, which is their terrible attempt at making him a more powerful, stronger, scary villain, it just takes you out of Arnie's story.
Yeah.
But if you kept seeing Cohagen from his perspective, it'd make him look more villainous, because then you kind of see him from his kind of view, wouldn't you? That'd be cooler, rather than ripping you out of his storyline completely just to show you this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'd say so anyway. And plus then, it would make you value him more as well. Like I said, we've undervalued the villain quite a bit, so...
It was quite... Think about it, it made me laugh to what we were saying earlier, that Hauser must have been a pretty decent guy for him to keep him alive all this time.
Go through all of this shit. And what if Richter or Michael Ironside is the guy who plays him, actually killed Arnie at one point?
Yeah.
On accident. Not even accident, he was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you fucked my missus, man. That's I hate you so much, man. Oh, God.
I know it's up at length. At all costs. How am I
even seeing Sharon Stone? Look at me. Look how recessive my hairline is. Like, he's just angry. And he's wearing a suit jacket made of leather the entire time.
Yeah, when he pointed that out, I couldn't take my eyes off it.
I think he was looking at it like, oh, where can I buy where can I buy this? Or just Martian attire at this place, I guess. Cool Martian attire.
Well, again, the future, that's probably what they all thought we'd be wearing right now. We're not, by the way.
The future! No, we're all chrome, obviously.
Yeah.
God, man. We're all wrapped in foil.
It's the only way to stop the 5G getting into our brainwaves.
Wait, what?
Oh, you don't know that yet.
Hold on, guys. I think I'm feeling a bit woozy. I'm trying to think. Anything else you guys want to talk about this movie? Because the thing is with this movie, right, as great as it is, you know what, this might be a bit of a compliment to it, actually. You can't really go on a 20-hour rant about this movie. What you have to say, that is it. It's kind of like the movie. You speed through it, and that is it.
Yes,
and that's all you have to say about it, really, isn't it?
As you both said, I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the sets. I love that it was all sets, and they use matte paintings, and they use
actually, I forgot to talk about the
miniatures and stuff like that. It all looks great.
Pretty much everything was practical, actually. Even the gougy eyes.
Yeah,
when they're all suffocating on the surface of Mars.
And I think we all agree that practical usually looks a lot better than
and there is CG in this, but it's used sparingly, I think.
Yeah, and it takes you into it more. Do you know what I mean?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes, it may look a bit janky, but at the end of the day, you know you can touch it. You can stand out there and you can grab Arnie's weird squidgy face.
Speaking of Arnie, actually, I was thinking this when I was watching it. Going off what you said, Josh, actually, talking about action films today and whatever. You could say this about a lot of action films at the time as well. I like that Arnie, as big and as strong as he is and as ripped as he is, whatever, he still takes a few hits. Yeah. If people get a few licks at him, he gets hurt, he gets damaged, he's every man. Do you know what I mean? He gets screwed over in some places. You don't get that. I mean, it's literally in people like The Rock's contracts now that he can only people he fights can only have so many hits in. He can't get this hurt just to make him look better. But then you don't care though. You care about someone like Douglas Quaid or
John McClane.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You care because even though they're action stars, they're still just the everyman. They've still got normal jobs. They've still got a life that you can relate to in some shape.
Yeah, we all have 34-inch biceps.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Obviously. Well, you're right.
I know, though. I do.
You can't tell. You can't see.
Yeah.
You're right, though. I was thinking about Die Hard as you were saying that. Actually, John McClane sustains a lot of fucking damage with that movie, and he's not running around halfway through the film, jumping off walls and shit. He's showing the damage he sustained.
Yeah.
He's walked on glass doing that movie, and he's stumbling around. He's got bullet holes in his fucking arm and shit. Given he ends up doing it again for another 5 films. Well, I say 5. He's like that for the first 3, obviously, the 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5. Is there a 6th Die Hard movie?
I hope
no,
not.
It's not.
I
It's
really
only 5.
hope not.
Okay, there's only yeah, because Jai Courtney's playing his son. The kiss of death.
Yeah.
He killed the Terminator franchise. He nearly killed the Suicide Squad franchise. No, he didn't actually.
And then they killed him.
Yeah. James Gunn turned around and thought, "You are not doing this."
Think you've been in my movie, do you?
He's like, "You're out.
Yeah.
You're out, Jarvie." So it's good. He does, even though Arnie is like a 7'5" Hercules looking ass motherfucker, he still feels like being new, I suppose. That's why he's so likeable, I guess. And he's just nice. Like I said, he's gonna give him a big hug, to be honest. What about you? Anything else, Frank, you want to talk about?
The taxi driver, Benny.
Oh, Benny!
Yeah.
Right, I saw the actual shock on Fevin's face when he realised he was a villain.
I genuinely didn't expect that. Call me stupid, dear listeners, but I just thought he was there for the ride.
You're like, oh, look at this likeable fella.
And his not so likeable arm.
I said you're insulting disabled arms now. Look at you.
I'm one of them now.
You're both terrible.
I'm an ableist now as well.
What?
The worst part about Benny being a villain, I love Benny. And it's just
He
something
was
about
funny.
the way that he talks.
Yeah,
that makes
he
me
was
laugh.
quite funny.
I got 5 kids to feed, man. Get in my taxi, man. And you quoted it 2 times in a row. Whenever something slightly weird would happen, you'd be like,
oh, they're going to say this, and then I mean,
exactly what he said.
when Michael Ironside comes on the computer, I was like, hello, and then he goes, hello. I was like, oh shit, and then I think anything Benny says, oh shit, or something like that, and then he said it, and I was like, oh okay.
And then he's like, I got 4 kids to feed. I was like, what happens to number 5?
Oh shit, you got me, man.
No,
I don't even have a wife.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, he's having kids out of wedlock. Horrible man.
It's against Christian values.
You're sick. Benny, you're sick.
Yeah, it's not the best written, but do you know what I mean? it's not trying to be the best
It's
written.
good
though.
that pulled the rug out from underneath you in that way, though.
Yeah.
But again, it's another thing, though. The movie just loves throwing twists at you every turn of the way. Like, maybe they're bad, maybe they're bad.
You don't know. You're gonna have to watch it.
Like, half at the end, I remember you saying, you're like, Lena's gonna be bad, isn't she?
Yeah. when he walks off down the hallway and she holds the gun, I was just half expected to just pull it and pop one in his
Aha,
head.
we got you,
Yeah.
dummy boy. So I to think there's genuinely like 6 twists in this movie.
Yeah, flat out.
Should we try and list them, actually?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so his wife
Is not his wife.
is a double agent.
Yeah.
He's not really Douglas Quaid, he's Hauser.
Yeah. Benny's evil.
Yeah, he's a double agent
We'll
as
throw that
well. It turns out he was best mates with Cohagen. That was a twist as well. They kept saying throughout the film that the fucking alien machine was going to blow the planet up, but it didn't. It created an entire atmosphere. Any? Do they want to put any more in?
You know what? I just had a funny one, but I forgot.
Sorry, guys. It's just late. We watched this and went straight into this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Fuckface. He has
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
the ugly guy.
Yeah.
he's a character twist, isn't he?
The kid named Finger.
The kid finger. Yeah, Hank from Breaking Bad is in this, and he plays one of the mutants. And we really couldn't tell. He was trying to spot, because I looked at the cast and I was like, wait, he's in this? Where?
Yeah.
And the entire movie, we were like, he's that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, he's that one.
Yeah, we thought it was I thought it was the Danny DeVito sounding guy at first.
And then I thought it was just some generic young guy behind a counter being like, oh, I can have your passport, please.
But he was fuckface.
He was fuckface. Basically, we called this horribly deformed mutant man.
So now you were one of them as well. We're all you.
Yeah, but I'm allowed because I'm disabled myself.
But you haven't got a fuckface though.
No, I've got a fucked arm. So it's fine. So yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, his little moment, doesn't he? A kid. Maybe it wasn't his kid. Maybe he was just being quite like, fatherly.
Yeah.
Maybe he has the instinct,
Yeah.
Maybe his mutated sperm couldn't go on to create a child of his own.
Considering she also had a fucked face.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Although her fucked face was on the other side, so
Oh yeah. Maybe the genes got a bit more fucked.
Maybe
Unless the female mutants had one side fuckface and the male of the other side fucked.
they did actually.
Oh,
See,
well,
it all
well,
comes
there you
together.
go.
This means that the child is going to have the baby with full fucked face.
Or it's going to have a whole normal face.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There's a bit of species
Total
law.
Recall 2?
Yeah.
It's time. There's the answers. There's the answer we want. There's the answer we need.
It's time to remember.
Paul, come on now, make another one. Is he even still alive?
Yeah. I say that. I have no idea.
Pull that shirt, man.
Let's have a look.
Is Paul still alive? He's still making movies. What's the last movie he made?
I won't know. I wouldn't know. I suppose Frank will know.
Well, if he worked on RoboCop 2014,
Hey, he's
maybe-
probably kick around.
then that would have been it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's still alive.
How old is he?
Let's see.
205.
Well, he was born in 1938.
Oh my god, he's an old fella.
84.
He's 84.
Fair
Okay,
play.
maybe no Total Recall 2, boys.
No.
Maybe not.
Maybe you can work at it. Maybe
Yeah.
Arnie will direct it.
No. No. Actually, I think he's directed a few properties.
Is he?
I think he did one around the time that he retired from acting and before he came back again. The Last Stand with Johnny Knoxville, I think he directed that.
Oh Christ, I've never even heard of that.
Oh, I
There's
think
no
I
one's got
watched,
Johnny Knoxville in it.
I think I've watched it once. I think the plot is it's like a base under siege story. I think where
Right.
Arnie's in this town and I think he's the sheriff, right? And it's like a current time. It's not like fucking cowboys
Right,
as they
okay.
say.
I was thinking that. I was like, what?
But fucking so they're there anyway, and these evil villain guys are like, we're gonna come through this town and we're gonna destroy this place and we're gonna run through.
Yeah.
And then Arnie's got to defend the town with Johnny Knoxville.
This is my town and I've got to defend
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's Town Alone.
Yeah.
Town Alone, starring Johnny Knoxville and Arnie. Who decided to put them together? Eh?
Yeah, that is a weird
Why not bring
matchup.
Benny back instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring Benny back instead. It's better than having Johnny Knoxville. Bring Fuckface back.
Fuckface, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuckface in finger. Fuck finger.
Fuck finger.
It's the finger with a fucked up face.
He's got a face on his finger. He's just talking for like he just puts his hand instead of having quarter on his stomach, he's going to finger a little man in the
And he's got a finger for a face.
and that one's got a finger, and that one's got a finger for a face.
Yeah.
So it's just finger face, fuck face, fingerception. There we go. That's our Total Recall right there.
Yeah.
That'd be a different kind of movie.
Hire us, Paul. 10 points. 10 points for you,
10
Josh.
points. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, boys. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, boys. I'm quite exhausted tonight. I'll be honest with you.
I don't think there's much to say really, other than what we've said.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, like we said, the movie comes and it goes, and I feel like our review or our podcast episode is going to have to be the same.
Yeah, I think I think we leave it there.
Because it kind of looks like we're just exhausted and we're not trying, but in reality, there's just not a lot to say. It's just. We like what we like and we dislike what we dislike. You don't have to read in between the lines.
No, there's not a lot. Yeah,
but that goes to show well it's done its job though in a way that we can be done this quickly and that is it.
It is what it is. As we
Again,
said.
it's not trying to provoke a conversation.
No,
which is so much of a breath of fresh air. It's in a lot of movies these days just try and provoke a conversation unnecessarily.
Yeah,
and they don't do the job at all.
No, yeah.
I know you felt like that about Nope. And,
yes.
I
did.
Yeah. Well, I know Jordan Peele personally, so I hope you're happy with that.
Tell him I've got words for him. Tell him to listen to this.
So yeah, Frank, have you got anything else to finish off on?
No, I've said everything I want to talk about.
So that was our episode of Total Recall. We know you've got a choice to listen to 750,000 other podcasts. We thank you for listening to ours, and this is us signing off.
Okay, bye.